This is Victoria Chatfield from the National Theater for Student Artists. Today, for our third weekly fundraising webinar, we're going to be talking about securing sponsorships. First of all, a quick update on important entries that you should read on the NTSA fundraising blog. We posted an entry on March 1st, the ins and outs of matching gifts, volunteer grants, and tax deductions that you absolutely should read. Matching gifts and volunteer grants are a simple way to effortlessly double some of your donations. Also, check out our entry for March 2nd on envelope fundraisers. This is an incredibly easy way to raise over $2,000. If you're a bit hesitant to try online crowdfunding, an envelope fundraiser is a way of crowdfunding offline. Now, we never heard of envelope fundraisers before, but we liked the idea so much that we're actually integrating it into the NTSA Scholarship Fund's annual crowdfunding campaign. Today, we're talking about securing sponsorships. Sponsorships are when local businesses agree to contribute to your fundraising efforts. Businesses can contribute either through cash donations or in-kind donations, which are donations of merchandise and services and space, etc. Like with crowdfunding, if you're not able to fundraise your entire course fee on your own and need to access the NTSA Scholarship Fund, we need to see proof that you tried to secure sponsorships. We require that you contact at least 10 businesses. Now, that might seem like a lot, but if you and a friend or a family member walk around your neighborhood, you should be able to approach that many businesses in 1 or 2 days max. What local businesses should you be contacting? Just like with crowdfunding, start with your inner circle of family and friends, and then work your way outwards. Are there businesses that you're directly connected to? Ones where you've been previously employed or where your parents have been or currently are employed? Are there any businesses that are owned by family friends? After that, think about businesses that would specifically be interested in what you're doing this summer. Look for local businesses that are connected to the arts, for example, dance and athletic clothing stores, sheet music stores, independent bookshops, etc. A good way of finding businesses that have a track record for supporting the arts in your area is to grab show programs from as many local theater companies as possible and then cross-reference them. Do you notice any businesses that have made donations to multiple theaters this year? You may want to consider asking those businesses for support. But don't just limit yourself to those. Any businesses in your immediate neighborhood might be interested in contributing to your fundraising efforts. In fact, it might surprise you which businesses are willing to write you a check. After you come up with a list of businesses that you want to approach, you should set your sponsorship levels. Create 3 or 4 different levels of sponsorship at price points that will appeal to both large and small businesses that might want to donate. Each sponsorship level should have different benefits attached to it. So your lowest level donors might get an advertisement in the program, while your highest level donors might get mentioned in all of your press releases as your official sponsor. We'll talk more about benefits in a few minutes. You want to think of your donor base as a pyramid. You're going to have a bunch of lower level donors at that $150 level, and then maybe one higher level donor at the $1,000 level if you're lucky. So plan to ask a lot of different donors and just gradually bring in money, and definitely don't get discouraged when businesses keep choosing those lowest sponsorship levels. Sometimes what you name your sponsorship levels can have a major impact on how many people sign up. Try to stay away from that traditional bronze, silver, gold level if you can, and instead choose creative level names that really fit into what you're fundraising for. Maybe you want to name them after theater terms like understudy, ensemble, supporting, and lead, or streets in New York City like Lexington, Park, Madison, and Broadway. We chose the names of Star Trek TV series for a student who's fundraising to join the cast of Loserville, a musical about high school nerds back in the 1970s. Make sure that your highest sponsorship level gets the best name. For example, Star Trek The Next Generation is generally regarded as the best Star Trek series, so naturally, that is going to be our $1,000 level. While some sponsors might be donating simply because they support your work, most of them will be donating because of the benefits packages that you create. They're interested in what you can give to them. You might want to provide prospective sponsors with a menu of possible benefits with price tags attached to them, so they can create their own customized sponsorship package based on what interests them. Your sponsors will get the most bang for their buck from your local fundraising event, which is why NTSA requires that you hold at least one. If a business is trying to enhance its image and gain new customers in your community, then you need to promote them at the community level. If you're hosting a one-night concert, well, then that gives you plenty of opportunities to advertise on their behalf. Pre-show announcements, programs with sponsor logos, even step and repeats for photographs. We'll be talking more about fundraising events next week. Whenever you approach a business, think about who that business's customers are. If you're talking to a child care center, for instance, who do you think their customers are? Parents with small children. If you're doing a children's puppet show for your fundraising event, well, then you can tell that child care center about how many parents are going to be in the audience with their small children. Offer to distribute postcards for their upcoming open house. Let a representative from the child care center set up an information table at your event. There are tons of benefit packages that could turn that child care center into a paying sponsor. Let's take a look at a sample benefits menu. Now, these are just some of the sample benefits that you could consider including. Also, feel free to adjust the price tags to whatever works best for you. NTSA sends out press releases about all of our student company members to their local newspapers, radio stations, and TV stations to help celebrate your accomplishment. Feel free to use this as a sponsorship opportunity. We are more than happy to list a certain business as your official sponsor on all press releases. This should probably be your highest price tag item because it can result in a ton of business for your sponsor. You could project a sponsor's corporate logo onto a screen during the entire pre-show at your local fundraising event. You could insert the sponsor's marketing materials like postcards or brochures or product samples into the program or give them away at the check-in table. You could mention a sponsor's business name during the pre-show announcement. You could provide a sponsor with a vendor table at your local fundraising event where they could sell merchandise. Now, quick note, make sure to check with the event space and make sure that selling merchandise will be okay beforehand. Some event spaces have really strict rules against sales. You could place a stewardship advertisement in a local publication like a newspaper or a magazine on your sponsor's behalf. So a stewardship advertisement is basically a public thank you for your sponsor's monetary support. A stewardship advertisement might say, "Thank you, business name, for supporting the future of the arts in town name." We can definitely help you create a stewardship advertisement if any of your sponsors are interested in one. Make sure that you include the cost of advertising space in the price tag. So, for example, if I was offering a stewardship advertisement in Buffalo Spring magazine, the total cost would be $1,000 plus $1,195. That's what it costs for a 1/6 page advertisement in the Buffalo Spree. So a $2,195 sponsorship package total. Similarly, further on down the list, we have a sponsor's logo featured on t-shirts worn by volunteers or performers at a local fundraising event, or a step and repeat for photographs. A step and repeat, by the way, is the printed background that you see in Hollywood red carpet photos. Whenever people see them, they cannot resist. They will automatically go up to them, pose, and take about 1,000 photos for their Instagrams. You want to make sure that you include the cost of the t-shirts or the step and repeat in the package. So for example, you would charge $1,000 plus $350, the cost of the step and repeat, which would be a $1,350 total sponsorship package. You can perform an onstage thank you ceremony at the end of your local fundraising event where you present your sponsor with an award plaque, which you can get online for about $25. You could also offer to provide entertainment at corporate parties or benefits. Make sure that this is a lower price point item because ultimately it's just going to end up benefiting you. If you put on an entertaining show, you may actually get repeat business or find yourself with a ton of new individual supporters. Your more basic benefit, the one featured in your lowest level sponsorship package, should be printing the sponsor's logo under the sponsors list in your local fundraising event program, along with an advertisement. You can also throw in some VIP tickets to the event. Most importantly, do not limit yourself to what is on this list. Businesses love quirky, off-the-wall, creative promotional opportunities. For instance, you could set up a photo booth station at your event with a backdrop and props that are related to your sponsor. Encourage anyone who takes a photo to use your sponsor's hashtag when they post it up on social media. You could have a branded sing-along as part of your fundraising concert, a branded 10-minute color toss at the end of your marathon, even a branded VIP bathroom at your event. Seriously, think about it. This is the perfect perk for a plumbing or a home remodeling company. Sky's the limit in terms of what you can offer. Just make sure that you have the time and the resources to get it done and get it done well. And make sure that you include any possible expenses in your sponsorship package fee. For instance, if there are going to be vinyl banners in the VIP bathroom, you need to include those printing costs. Most importantly, always be ready with another ask in case the business shuts down your first offer. If they can't donate at the lowest $150 level, then offer to create a custom $50 level just for them. If none of your listed benefits interest them, ask if they have any ideas. Ask them what their corporate goals are, and if you can come back tomorrow with more ideas of how you can help them achieve those goals through your sponsorship packages. Finally, if you just don't think that you're going to get a monetary donation from them, ask if they'd be interested in making an in-kind donation. As previously mentioned, in-kind donations consist of merchandise, services, space, etc. Use your in-kind donors to cut down on costs for both your local fundraising event and your course fee. Maybe a restaurant can't donate money, but can donate refreshments for your benefit concert. Maybe a hotel can't donate money, but can donate a staycation package for a silent auction. And maybe a travel agency can't donate money, but they can donate a flight ticket to NTSA this summer. In-kind donations can be incredibly valuable. Make sure to walk into every sponsorship meeting with an idea of what you could ask for in terms of in-kind donations if your sponsorship pitch falls flat. Here are some statistics that you can offer during your meeting to entice potential sponsors, especially ones that have never backed charitable causes before. According to the Nielsen 2013 Consumers Who Care study, 91% of global consumers are likely to switch brands to one associated with a good cause, given comparable price and quality. 61% of consumers are willing to try a new brand or one they've never heard of because of its association with a particular cause. And finally, 44% of consumers in the US said that they would actually be willing to reward companies that give back to society by paying more for their goods and services. Businesses may ask you if they get a tax deduction from their donation. Businesses can receive a tax deduction by donating directly to the NTSA Scholarship Fund. They'd need to write a check to NTSA instead of to you in this case. Now, per legal restrictions, we cannot guarantee that the sponsorship money would go specifically toward your course fee. But having a large scholarship fund will help make sure that students who aren't able to raise their course fee will still be able to attend NTSA, including you. Just mail any of those sponsorship checks to NTSA at 56 Mill Street, Williamsville, New York, 14221, and we can send back a receipt on NTSA letterhead that sponsors can use for their 2018 taxes. Finally, just like with crowdfunding, make sure to send your sponsors thank you packages via email after you complete your NTSA summer program. You might want to consider including a personalized thank you note for their donation, digital photos showing sponsor signage and participants enjoying themselves at your local fundraising event, and digital photos and video of your experience at NTSA. Now, you can send a handwritten thank you note, but you want to make sure that all photos and videos are sent digitally because businesses love to share that kind of content with their customers and shareholders on social media and in their newsletters. So, what can NTSA help with? Now, we're running a little bit behind on updating the resources on our blog because of our upcoming application deadline. But we're going to try and get some sample sponsorship packages and sample sponsorship scripts for phone calls and visits up on the blog later this week. Once again, you can find our fundraising blog at ntsaffundraising.blogspot.com. This website is a fantastic resource for raising your course fee. We update the blog almost every day with new fundraising ideas, resources, troubleshooting strategies. And if you ever get stuck creating your fundraising plan, come to the NTSA fundraising blog to get some new ideas. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to contact me at any time. I will always get back to you within 24 hours with the exception of my 1 day a week off, which is usually Monday or Tuesday. We'll see you next week for our fundraising webinar on fundraising event basics.